Noninkables. Hello and welcome to Noninkables, the podcast. We are on episode 25. I feel like I should give a little description of the podcast. I guess it's basically me talking about my journey in Lorcana and trying to become more competitive from starting out as a very beginner, don't want to compete kind of person because I thought people would be mean and scary, and now I want to win. I'm gonna come up with like a better tagline for that. Eventually we're gonna have to like workshop this. But yeah. So let's see, the big news. The whole team got tickets to Milwaukee. Yay. And it was interesting because because of like the disastrous release of the tickets, I feel like everyone's tickets are a little different. So Tyler got his tickets on the Pastimes website because they were open like an hour before actual release time. And then he did message us all on Discord, and then he saw that I didn't respond, so he called me. And I was actually at work. And I was like, why is he calling me on the phone? Like, the only time that would happen is if like someone died. And I was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, did you see my message? I was like, no. He was like, the tickets are available on Pastime. So then immediately logged on to Pastime. So I ended up getting a ticket through Pastime, but I also got it like as the site was crashing. So it took like several refreshes and tries, but eventually like the order did go through. They did charge my credit card, but I didn't see like an order. I got like an order confirmation number, and that page like didn't load until like an hour later. And then I never got like a confirmation email. So I did end up messaging the Pastimes person through Discord and was like, hey, I think I bought a ticket. It charged my credit card. I got an order number, but like the page never loaded and I never got an email. And she was like, oh, it looks complete on our end. It may just be that the website crashed. And then I did check today by logging into the account, and the order is there as completed in my account. I think Gary got tickets through Eventbrite, and then I was able to purchase a ticket for Brian through Eventbrite. So we all got tickets. We're all going to Milwaukee. See you guys in Milwaukee. Very exciting. Okay, and then what else? Oh, so this like hybrid league that I'm playing in through Margolis Gaming Labs MGL is still going on. I played my match super early in the week. I was matched against Sage Mode, who is like based in Sacramento. I've played him a bunch, and he plays usually green blue. So I played our regular red blue deck into him, and I kept forgetting that his deck had Bend to My Will in it. And so the first time he played it, I was like, oh, what the heck? I have no cards. I just drew a bunch of cards and I have no cards. And I just kept like, I think I'm just like reading through because we were kind of chatting at the same time. I think there was one time where I challenged into one of his characters. Oh, I think I challenged into Clarabelle, and I didn't banish Clarabelle because I don't know how to add. And he had in that game discarded two of my B preps. I think I played a third one, and then I was able to play a fourth one because he was like, how is it possible you got all four B preps in the top 30 cards of your deck? And I was like, I don't know. This deck sometimes just decks. And then let's see. The second game, oh, we talked a little bit about the item deck I played at Texas that ruined me. And he was like, oh yeah, I want a hero with that deck. And then I think he played Clarabelle, and the next turn he played Venture Will, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about Venture Will. And he was like, it's the staple of the deck. And I was like, I know. And I kept forgetting. And then I think I like drew into a Sisu and cleared his board, or a B prep, and he just wrote, can you stop? And then I was like, every time we play Venture Will, I forget. And I'm like, oh yeah, dang, that card exists. And then he wrote back the perfect B prep every single time into a shark, both times. And I was like, it's the deck. He just gave me the face. It's like lines for eyes. And then he's like, the perfect cards for every scenario. Seriously, too lucky. And he's like, I'm going to have to go back to Geyser build. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, usually this list beats red blue more often than not. But if you're top decking everything, I was like, yeah, I don't know. My deck was just decking. So I feel bad because I won so easily. Literally because every time I was like, oh, it'd be nice if I had this card. And then I would get it. And they'd be like, oh, I really need like a Sisu right now. And then I would get like a visions. I'd be like, oh, okay, let me go look for it. I'm like, oh, there it is. I'm like, oh, I really need a pirate's life. And I'd get a vision and go, oh, look, I found it. It was literally like the best draws I've ever had. So I won that match. So now my record in this tournament is 2-1, and I'm currently placed 21st. So there are, let's see, 6 people who are undefeated right now. And then 7 through 25 are all 2-1s. So it's like all based on tiebreakers. Yeah, crazy. What else? That was like pretty much the only game that I played during the week. We didn't go to locals this past week. And then we didn't go to any set champs on Saturday because I was busy. And then I worked Sunday night, and then I played at VPC Victory Point Cafe Set Champ on Sunday. So I'd gotten like maybe 3 hours of sleep total. So I bought a triple shot of coffee, like one of those canned Starbucks coffees at work. And so I was running on 3 hours of sleep and a triple shot of coffee, and I was so tired by the end. Okay. But, oh, I should probably, spoiler alert, I did it again. Yay. So now I have 2. Now I have 2, so I think I'm going to foil one of them. But that's exciting. Yeah, crazy, crazy. I did not expect to do this well, considering last set I didn't get a mat. I think I got a few top 8s, but no mats. Let's see, that was Hero. And the set before that, look at the wall. Scar, I did get, I think, 2 runner-up mats. 1 mat the set before that. The mat, our Ursa's return mat, didn't even win that. Tyler gave that to us. And then my Stitch mat. So getting better, getting way better. I think it's partly that I stuck to the same deck and I didn't change a bunch, but also I feel like I understand this deck, and also this deck is just really good. It's very good at top decking. When you need certain cards, it's very good at finding you those cards. Yeah, and I feel like I understand this deck. At least now I feel like I understand this deck. So yeah, I played the same deck, so red-blue with Brawls instead of Goofies. Otherwise, pretty much the same build that Tyler played in Texas. Oh, speaking of Tyler, he's been doing coaching, and I think it's been going pretty well. And what else? I think one of the people he coached, Jay, did pretty well at his set champs. I don't know. I feel like I hear everything secondhand. I don't follow anything. So I think that's what happened. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Jay did pretty well at his set champs. Okay, so let's talk about, and then Tyler also played in the finals of ICL on Friday. It was SLTC versus ETB. ETB ended up winning. I actually only watched the match that Tyler played, and Tyler did win his match. It was Amber Steel, and he was playing Red Blue. He plays, so his deck is a little bit different than mine. His deck has Goofies, and it has the 1 Maleficent Dragon instead of a Hades, whereas mine runs 2 Hades and 2 Brawls. Because I am scared of aggro and Diablos, and also, like, I feel like the Brawls are safer because I can brawl Diablos, I can brawl Ariel, Singer, I can brawl Vinnies, because those are a problem, etc. Anyways, so, because he played in ICL, he did bar, we traded decks. So he got my like super blinged out red-blue deck, and then I got his deck. And I don't know if like his deck doesn't like me or I was successfully cursed by River. But at VPC, I had 5 games where I didn't get turn 2 ramp. And literally, I would keep 1 card, like a popsicle or a develop, and I would mulligan the rest. And then on turn 1, I would play the popsicle or develop. So I'm looking like what? I see the 6 cards. I trade it for 6 new cards. That's 12 cards. And then I play like a develop. That's 14 cards. I'm looking like 13, 14 cards deep. Oh, plus I'm on the draw usually. So like 15 cards deep and not a turn 2 ramp. I don't know what happened. It seems like statistically impossible, and yet it happened. So let's get into it. So VPC, their set champs had 21 people. We only had, I think, room technically for 20 people, like in terms of table space, because it is a cafe where people play like board games, and there was like a Pokemon tournament going on at the same time. And then later, I think there was like a Gundam tournament, maybe. And so like space was a little limited. So then one person got the buy, and it wasn't me. I did not get any buys. But so we had 21 people, and round one, I matched into River, who is one of our locals who plays at VPC. He plays with his dad. They have what I think are really cute jerseys. And I don't know. So normally when people have like the baseball jersey as their team shirt, I don't like it. And I've talked about this in other podcasts. I don't like the baseball jersey. I don't like the soccer jersey. I don't know why. I think they look weird. I think because I see the jersey, I'm like, oh, it's like a sports thing, and then like it's not sports, and then it just like there's some like cognitive dissonance in my head. But I like River and Abai's jersey, so Abai's dad. They have I really like their jerseys. They're like blue that fades into like orange, into like hot pink. It's like a kind of like a ocean sunset kind of thing. So I really like their jerseys for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, I matched into River. He was very excited about matching into me because he knew I was playing red blue and he was playing amber steel hyperactive. So he was very excited. And then he was like, I'm gonna curse you. And I was like, okay. And he did. He was successful in his cursing. Maybe he's a warlock. Maybe he's a wizard. I don't know. But all 3 games against him, I had no turn 2 ramp. And then I played him in Top Cut, and there was another game where I didn't have turn 2 ramp. So, first game, I think he went Rhino into Piglet, into Daisy Piglet, or not Daisy Piglet, into Lady Piglet, into like Daisy something. I don't know. It was insane. He went 1 lore. I missed turn 2 ramp, 5 lore, 10 lore, 15 lore. Then he won. I was like, all right, next game. Boo. Second game, I missed turn 2 ramp again. And then he went 2 lore, 6 lore, 11 lore. When he was at 11 lore, I was at 2 lore. And then I was able to stop him from gaining any more lore after that. I got to 20 and won. Third game, I was on the draw again. Again, I did not get turn 2 ramp. And he played Daisy, turn 1, went to 2 lore. And then I think played a Piglet, turn 2, went to 7 lore. Turn 3, I think he played Lady Daisy or something. Went to 14 lore. And then by turn 4, I had lost. So I lost to River, which he was very excited about. And he was like, maybe this is my chance to like win it. And I was like, yeah, go, do it. And then he's so funny because he'll like draw his cards and he's like, ooh, this is a very good hand. And I'm just like, oh no. And then we played a 4th game just for fun. I was on the draw. That time I did get my turn 2 ramp. And he got to 17 lore and I was at 6. And then I Pirates Lifed him at some point. I went to 11 lore. He was at 15. And then I was able to win. So I was like, okay, I can win against this deck. I just have to not miss turn 2 ramp. Unfortunately, that's not the game that counted. So whatever. Round 2, I played Chris. And they were playing green, steel, discard. I won the die roll. And the first game, I just kind of ran away with it. I don't think they got any lore. Round 2, I was on the draw, and they had all the cards, and I had none of the cards, as is the usual for Green Steel, I think. They were able to do a Beyond the Horizon with Prince John on board. So I only got to 13 lore, I only got to 3 lore, and they were at 12 lore, and then I just didn't get any more lore. The last game I was on the play, and that one I kind of ran away with because I think I had maybe like a handbag or something, but they ran out of cards and I still had cards, which is not how that deck is supposed to happen. So won round 2. So at this point I'm 1-1. Round 3, I matched into Matthew, who I had played at Destine. And at Destine, he played Jafar Wheel, but on Sunday, he was playing Blurple. I was able to win the die roll, and then the first game I won. It was like neck and neck, so we were at like 11 lore at the same time. And then he got to 12, I got to 13, and then I was able to control and go to 21. Game 2, I lost. I missed turn 2 ramp again. This is the 4th time missing turn 2 ramp in one tournament. So this is what? Now, at this point, I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, and I've missed turn 2 ramp on half of them. That seems statistically not possible. But anyways, I missed turn 2 ramp, and then it was just bad news bears. Bad news bears from there. The last game, I was on the play, and it was a super close nail-biting game. So at first it was like pretty even, so 1-1, and then he went to 3, I went to 3, and then I think I played a Pirate's Life with a Maui. Nope, I just played a Pirate's Life. And so he went to 1, I went to, and then I was at 6, he was at 2, 7 to 3, 8 to 7, 10 to 10. Okay, so he's at 10 lore, right? We're both at 10 lore. And he's got a Lucky Dime on board and a Ratigan. And he is playing the Ratigan from this set. Actually, have one. This Ratigan. Let me see if it even shows up. I gotta do this. This Ratigan. So it's 8 costs, 7, 6, 7. Quest for 4 has ward, so I can't even like Hades it. And then has times runs out at the end of your turn if you didn't put any cards in the equal this turn, banish this character. So he dimes this Ratigan, right? He's at 14 lore. So I have to win the next turn. Because I can't, unless I get a B prep, I can't get rid of this Ratigan. And I think I'd already used like 3 B prep at this point. And he has a Lucky Dime, which I guess I could hide away it. But I think I'd already inked it. Or it was in my discard. Either way. So I have a mana on board, right? So that takes me to 12 lore. Tamatoa quests takes me to 14 lore. Plays a popsicle for free. I think I get like a develop maybe. I have a shark on board. So I had on board a Maui shark, a Tamatoa, and a Manor. So Manor 10 to 12, Tamatoa 12 to 14, right? I play a develop, 15 lore because of the shark. From that develop, I get another develop. I play another develop, 16 lore. And then I think from that develop, my options are a vision and how far I'll go. So I choose the vision. I play the vision, 17 lore, right? So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm at 17 lore. I really need like a pirate's life. Play the vision. Pirate's life is the second card. Get to 20. Sing the pirate's life with Maui because I don't think I had enough. I think at that point I only had like 2 ink left. Yeah, because I think, let me think. Do I even have? I'm pretty sure I had the Maui on board already, but I think I had to do some like carpet bag nonsense also to draw a card, but ended up finding the pirate's life off of the visions and singing the pirate's life with the Maui. Yes, I definitely had the Maui on board. Sing the pirate's life, get to 20. And it was like crazy. So that was round 3. Round 4, I matched into John. I call him Pixar John because he works at Pixar. He was playing Amber Steel discard. So he made like a Frankenstein deck of like classic Amber Steel combined with like Rob's Amber Steel discard deck, but it was running no Whole New World. So at least I knew I wasn't going to get milled and run out of cards. I won the die roll. First game, pretty easily got to 17. He got to 4, and then I Pirate's Lifed him down to 2. And then I was like 12 versus 2, and then I just won. Second game, I was on the draw. And looking back, I think I should have won that game, but I did misplay. And I did recognize the misplay like the turn after. So he's like getting lower, getting lower, getting lower. He goes to 10, or he goes to 12 lore. I play a Pirate's Life. I go to 2 lore. He's at 10 lore, right? He goes to 13. He goes to 15. I'm at 4. He goes to 16. I'm at 6. And then at this point, I had a Hades on board. And what I should have done is sing B Prep. But I thought that at 16 lore, I could sing Pirate's Life and bring him down to 14, and he would have been like too far away to get to 20. What I did not account for is that he was playing Shift Aerial. And so I did my math wrong. So the next turn he went to 17. I was at 12. And then he shifted Aerial. And I think he played a Pete and a Rhino. And I couldn't get rid of all of that because it's all unseasuable. And I couldn't play B Prep because he peated. So that I think was a misplay on my part. And then the last game I was on the play and won pretty easily. And then round 5, I matched it to Adrian, aka Yerxa from Team Tianhu. And by the time round 5 came out, like the top 8 all just ID'd, and there was like no way for the bottom to get up because it was like, I think everyone in the top 8 was at like, would be at, after they ID'd, would be at like 10 points or higher. And then even if the people, like the 9th person won, they would only get to like 8 or 9 points. There's no reason for the top not to ID. So we ID'd, and then I tried to take a nap. I closed my eyes, put my head down. Like the people did keep talking to me and asking questions. But I did get a little bit of rest. which makes me think back to like that Mythbusters episode where like even if you don't sleep, if your eyes are closed, it is a little restful, which I definitely needed after only getting 3 hours of sleep. So in my top 8 match, I matched into River again, still on Amber Steel aggro, and I was still cursed. I won the die roll, and in the first game, I missed turn 2 ramp yet again for the 5th time. How? I don't know. So he went 2 lore, first turn, he played Daisy. Second turn, he went to or technically third turn, he went to 7. So I'm guessing Piglet Daisy. And then he went to 17. I think he went, I want to say he did Daisy Rhino or something like that. He went to 17. And then that was it. I lost in 3 turns, 3 or 4 turns. Second game was, I was on the play. And in that game, I think he had some bad draws and I had really good cards. So he only got to 9. And then I Pirate's Lifed him and then got to 18 pretty easily. The last game, I was on the draw, and you guys, this game was insane. So I'm on the draw. He goes 1 lore into 5 lore into 10 lore, 11, 14. I think I do like a Pirate's Life with a shark on board because I go to 3, he goes to 12, right? Next one is 4 to 15. 17 for him. 6 to 19. I then keep him at 19 for 5 more turns so I can get to 20. So we're 6 to 19, and I think I do like B prep into Sisu singing B prep into Hades, and then I think, let me see if I recapped it to our, I think at the end, the only way I could win was if I either found a brawl to brawl him, or to brawl whatever character he had played, or I find Pirate's Life. And I think I was able to find Pirate's Life. But it was like, it was really tough. That was a very, very difficult match. Yeah. And I don't know if he could have done anything different. I would say I'm not good at remembering like what happened exactly, what cards he played. But there was a turn, like afterwards, someone was, I think it was Chris who was talking to him, was like, oh, you shouldn't have like went so wide one of the turns and like kept a card. But like, I think I still found removal the next turn, but maybe if he had like 2 characters, I would have had the Hades wouldn't have worked. But I mean, I had B prep in my hand and I had 2. So when he was at 19, I had 2 B preps in my hand and a Sisu and a Hades. So I had the removal, and I think I top decked another Sisu. I do remember there was a turn where I decided to B prep his board, taking him from 12 to 15 because he had a Vinny. And I was like, well, I don't want to look for the brawl and not find it. So I'd rather just cut my losses early, let him get to 15, and then just try to hold him there. So it was like super, super, super close. My top 4 match was against Adrian, so who I had match 4 for round 5. He was on red purple, and I had played him the week before at VPC at like a local constructed and gotten just absolutely demolished. Let me see. Because the week before when I had played Adrian, I got O2'd, and it was quite bad, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, the first game was like 9 to 20. Second game was 11 to 20. And so I was very, very nervous for this match because Adrian is like very good at red purple. And I had played him set 6, like games of Berkeley in top 8, top 4. I think I played him in Swiss, and it was best of 2. And he was like, do you want an ID? And I was like, I don't know what the math is. I think we should play it out. And then we played it out and we drew. And then I think I played him in top cut and like maybe barely won, but I feel like I lose to him more often than I win. So the first game I was on the draw, I lost the die roll. Oh yeah, VPC did a die roll for top cut, not seeding. So I lost the die roll, and it was like sort of close. It was very control-y. So it was like he was at 1 lore, 2 lore, 3 lore, then I got a lore. He went up to 10 lore, I got a lore. I went to 3, 3 to 11, 5 to 12, 7 to 13, 9 to 13, 10 to 14, 10 to 15. And then Pirates Life happened, so it was 12 to 13, then 12 to 14, 12 to 15. Then Pirates Life happened the other way, so it was 14 to 13. And then Pirates Life happened the other way. And then he won. So it was like a lot of you Pirates Life, I Pirates Life, you Pirates Life kind of thing. Second game I was on the play, and I was able to win that. It ended up being like 20 versus 10. And then the last game I was on the draw, and it was also kind of control-y. So he got to 5 lore, and then I got 2 lore. He was at 7, and then he went to 8, and then it was 3 to 9, 3 to 9, then 5 to 12. And then I think I was able to swing it back in my favor a little bit, and I went 7 to 12, 9 to 12, and then I Pirates Live 12 to 10. So we're at 12 to 10 at this point. And then I think he was able to swing it a little bit back in his favor. So then he went, and then we were at 12 to 11, so almost the same. And then he Pirates Life to me, and it was 10 to 13. And then I took it back a little bit, was 11 to 13, 12 to 13, 13 to 13. And then we were 14 to 14. So we're like neck and neck this whole time. And then it's 14 to 15. And then I think he Pirates Lifed me. And then it was 12 to 17. And then I Pirates Lifed him back. So then it was 15 to 15 with like a shark on board. And then I go 16, 17, 18. So I'm at 18. Then he gets lower 16 and then 17. So it's now 18 to 17. And I was like, I have to win this turn. And I don't even remember what happened. I think I had Pirate's Life in my hand at that point. I like saved it, held on to it, didn't ink it, didn't play it early. Because I know at one point had inked at least one, maybe 2 Pirates Life, and I'd played one. And so I just held on to that last Pirate's Life. I was like, I gotta hold on to this for the end because I know I can't like goof something because it's not in this deck. And so I had to like try to quest as much as I could and then just hold that as like hoping he doesn't, because I think at that point if he had top decked a Pirate's Life, I would have lost because he had a shark on board. And then just hoping he didn't top deck it. And he had like still pretty big stack of cards, so I was like, okay, statistically probably okay. And I will put up the little graph of my heart rate during this whole thing, and you can tell exactly like when Top Cut starts. So this is all at work. This is when the tournament starts. You can see like a peak with every round, basically, right? This part is where I tried to rest in between. And then this is when I play River. This is when I play Adrian. Just stress. So won my top 4 match fairly. And then in the finals, I matched into. Oh, and then it was so funny because so many people were watching us, like people who had finished playing, and they timed our last match. And our last match in finals, me and Adrian took like 35 minutes. And I think our second match was longer. So we were playing for at least an hour and a half, if not longer. And then for finals, I played John again, who was on Amber Steel. First game, I was on the draw and I lost. He peated me 2 turns in a row, so I couldn't get rid of anything. Second game, I was on the play and I won. It was like he got to 5 lore before I got my first lore, and then he didn't get any more lore after that. And I just quest, action, whatever. Last game, I was on the draw, and I think his draws were super, super bad. And so he only got to 5 lore. I was at 4 lore when he got to 5 lore. And then I just kept doing stuff. And there was like, I just went super wide with my board. I think at one point I had like a Maui, a Tamatoa, maybe a Hades, plus a Manor, maybe 2 Manors on board. And there was like nothing he could do. And so I ended up winning that one. Yeah, so that's crazy. I've won 2 set champs now. And then, so this weekend is going to be the first weekend where Tyler's going to be at a same set champ as me. And our locals were joking like, oh, a Q versus Tyler final would be insane. Be like the student versus the master. That would be super scary. I think I would just panic and misplay from panic. And then I was like, maybe. And Tyler was like, I think they're going to tech against our deck for this weekend. And I was like, joke's on them. I'm going to play Jafar Wheel. And I honestly did try Jafar Wheel yesterday. I was like, oh, maybe I could play a Jafar Wheel with like illusion. And then I could use the enchanted promos that I got from top 8 in it. So I did try that for a little bit. And I was like undefeated I was playing best of 1. I was undefeated for like 6 games until I got very defeated by like Amber Steel aggro. And I was like, well, that's definitely going to be there. So I guess that ducks out. And then I tried a Blurple Jafar. It didn't go well. I tried a yellow green aggro. I tried a purple steel burn. I tried a purple steel aggro. I tried a purple steel tempo. I tried a red steel deck. Was not good. So I think most likely I'm probably just going to play red blue because I have fun playing the deck. I think it's a lot of fun. I think luck is definitely part of it, but also like because Visions allows you to filter your cards, I think you can like filter and set up your deck to have like all the good cards at the end when you need them. Like I basically so when I think of red blue, I basically think of it like in the beginning you play all your blue cards so you can ramp, and then at the end you just want to play red cards to get rid of their stuff and let whatever you have surviving that's blue quest. This is essentially how I see the deck. And so I feel like Visions lets you kind of like set up your deck in a way that like you get all your manners at the end kind of thing. I think also like top decking a B prep where a Sisu is like super clutch and I feel like happens often. Also like if you are able to get carpet bag out against like green purple discard or green steel discard, then you don't really care about the discard. You're like, whatever, I can draw as many cards as I want. I just keep ramping. I think the hyper aggro matchups are a little difficult, and like green purple discard is difficult, but definitely still doable. It's just like as long as I'm not cursed with no turn two ramp, I think they're totally fine and doable. It's just I have to think and count and do math, and it's a little stressful. And it's kind of like believe in the card a little bit, but not 100% that you're gonna lose. So probably just gonna play the same deck. Definitely run brawls because those save my butt. Being able to brawl a Vinny saves me against hyper aggro. Also, being able to brawl a Piglet before it can quest, I think is much stronger than running into the Piglet with the Goofy after they've quested. Yeah, and then I was even thinking like, is there a way I can make my deck more good against hyper aggro? But then I think it would take away too many of the really good cards in the deck that you definitely need for like the rest of the game. So I think I definitely will play red blue just because I don't have another deck sleeved at this point and I don't really know how to play the other decks. And I feel like I know how to play red blue at this point. So probably just stick with the same and cross my fingers I don't match into like hyper aggro as much as I can. So yeah, a lot of success this season so far. So we're going to two set champs this weekend. We're going to Games of Brentwood and we're going to DVY. I am once again, for some reason, I think I'm working Friday night, so I'll be sleep deprived for Games of Briguy for sure. I'm technically working Sunday, but it's like one of those half day things, so I'll just go early and try to leave early so I can play at DVY. And then after that, I think the next thing we have is Gen Con. Yeah, the weekend after we'll be at Gen Con. And I may do more podcast episodes during that time. I don't know. It depends how tired I am. We did like drop some of the things that we had originally signed up for. Like, for example, we're not going to do the speed puzzle thing because we haven't watched any videos on how to speed puzzle. And I feel like I would be very competitive and I would be upset that we lose. So we're dropping that. And then I think we're dropping our triple deck constructed just because I'd rather play something else, I think. Yeah, so it'll be Gen Con. If I'm not super tired, I may do like more daily updates. I'm going to try to post more on the Instagram as stuff is happening during that weekend. And then the weekend after that is technically still set champs. So I have a chance to play in probably one more set champs. But now that I have two mats, I'm like, do I even want to play in one more set champs or do I just want to like chill? And hopefully by then we'll know at least some of the cards that will be reprinted for set 9. And maybe I should start brewing or seeing like what decks might actually survive. And then I think the next thing after that we're going to be playing in that's big is the Denver Pro Play in September. And then after that, I don't know. I think that's it after that until like Milwaukee that we have planned. That's big. Yeah. I guess I'll still be playing in this hybrid league, so we'll see how that goes. I think it's cut to top 8, but there are 9 rounds, so I still have a chance as long as these other people don't remain undefeated the whole time. So yeah, that league, me, Brian, and Tyler are all playing in. So like currently as it stands for the team, Tyler is 14th. His record is 2-1. I am 21. My record is also 2-1. And then Brian is, where is he? Oh yeah, he changed his name. Brian is 33 and his record is 1-2. And I think he really just needs to play green steel. He was gonna play, so the first set champs he played in at Destine, he played Chief Bogo. And he can't play that in the hybrid league because Return of Hercules doesn't work properly on Locanito. And then in the second one, when we were at VPC, he switched to red blue after some like very short tutoring from me. It turns out I'm not as good of a coach as Tyler because I feel like he didn't get the same results that I did from coaching with Tyler. But and then now he's back on like green steel discard, and he was playing yesterday, and I am super proud of this. So I'm going to do a little shout out to him. He is currently ranked 196 on best of 3 on Lord Canino with an MMR of 1549. I have never gotten to any MMR above like 14. I think my max was like 1420, and then I immediately went back down to 1200. So, like last night he was playing, he was like, oh, I don't think I should play anymore because I want to wait until like it resets. I was like, yeah, don't play. Just watch TV or something. And then, so I can take a screenshot of this for the podcast because it's so good. 1549, are you kidding me? That's so good. And so I feel like that's his deck. He should just play Green Steel because I feel like that's the deck he's always playing and he knows it best. And I still don't know how I beat him in Texas when he was playing Green Steel because I should have lost because the next day I lost 10 games in a row on the play and on the draw. So I think part of it is also like I think I tend to do better under pressure and in real life playing, whereas I think Brian does better not under pressure. It's just like a personality difference. But I think he should play Green Steel. And so, yeah, that I think is it for this week. Still pretty pumped. Oh, so the pricing at VPC. So VPC, because it's a cafe, when you play in their set champs, you get a free drink. Although no alcohol because that's not allowed at Lorcana events. I think I got like a strawberry lemonade because I didn't get my drink until like the break between rounds 3 and 4. And I was like, well, if I drink caffeine, I'm not going to be able to sleep, even though I'm so tired. So I got strawberry lemonade like a child. And then for first place, I got the mat, the card, and then I think six packs. I think I got 2 packs for participation and then 6 packs for getting first. But the registration for Destine, I think, was only like $30, I want to say. Might be lying. And then I think Destine was $40. So a little bit of a price difference, so a little bit different in pricing. And I think in our local area, like some stores have very, very good pricing and are known for that. So like Destine usually has pretty good pricing. NorCal TCG usually has pretty good pricing in terms of like you win a lot of cards at the end. And then other stores have like cheaper entry fees and less pricing. Like there's some stores where you just get the mat, which is like all you should expect to get, I feel like. So yeah, that is it for this week's podcast. I need to work on a better like intro tag for this podcast. But thanks for listening. I mean, I'm gonna put in plug for Tyler. If you want to win set champs, just get some tutoring from Tyler. Tutoring? Is it tutoring? No, get some coaching. Because we're a what? I feel like it's more tutoring. I'm gonna call it tutoring. Get tutoring from Tyler. I'll put a link in the description down below to his Metafy. Literally, it's so helpful. And I think the other big shift that I had to make, that I've really come to realize this set that's kind of like cemented in my brain this set is that you have to play to win, not to you have to play to win, you can't play to not lose. And like I feel like I've known this, but like it hasn't really clicked until this set. Because before I used to just like be like, okay, let me control their stuff so I don't lose. And then eventually I would still lose because I never like quested with my stuff. I never thought about how am I going to get to 20. I just thought about how do I prevent them from getting to 20. And so, yeah, you have to really think about how do I not lose or how do I win? I can't just think about not losing. And I think that is the difference that's like the major difference in what's changed for me between this set and previous sets. Like I think I'm thinking further ahead. I'm also thinking a little bit more about like what they could play and how I would counter it. Because I feel like before, especially like because I played DKP deck like 2 sets ago, and a lot of times if I was in the mirror, I'd get caught off guard when they played a Maui, like a manner, and I was like, how do I deal with their Micduck manner? And like now, when I play the mirror, I'm always like, okay, what if they were to play McDuck Manor next turn? What do I do? Do I have the stuff on board and a Maui Hero Vault in my hand to deal with? That kind of stuff. Oh, another interesting thing. So the week before I played Kenny, right? And Kenny dealt with my manners by doing Peter Pan, Maui Shark. Very effective, I feel. Adrian's way of dealing with my manners a little different. He did it to me once in locals, like the week before, and then he did it again to me this past Sunday, where he played Merlin Crab, Cogsworth to give. So he played Merlin. I think he would have like a Merlin Crab on board. I don't even know how he did it. Like somehow he would have play 2 Merlin Crabs, give the +3 to the same Merlin Crab, and then so like you play a Merlin Crab, give the +3 to itself. You play another Merlin Crab, you give the +3 to that first Merlin Crab. So now that Merlin Crab's at 9. And then you play Cogsworth, the 1-drop, give it Rush, takes out your mana. So 7 ink to take out a mana. So like actually cheaper than the Peter Pan Shark combo. Yeah. So when I was playing Adrian, I like didn't play my manners early, and then I was like, hey, like I think at one point in one of the games I was like, hey, can I check your discard? And I was just checking to see how many crabs and Elsas I had put into his discard, because the crabs and the Elsas are what end up getting rid of my Maui sharks before they can do anything, and then also getting rid of my manners. So I was like, okay, I know he's inked a crab and he has 2 crabs in his discard. If I play like a manor or 2 now, they should be safe. So yeah, it's nice to have played him before because I knew that that was a potential. But I think also you have to learn from game to game. So like the first game you play against someone is kind of scary because you don't know what they are running. And first of all, you don't know what colors they're playing, and that changes. Luckily for red blue, it doesn't really change how you mulligan. You kind of mulligan for turn 2 ramp if you can get it. And then it's kind of like the same stuff. And then once you know what they're playing, that can kind of maybe change how you mulligan a little bit. And then as you're playing, you see them do stuff, you see them do combos, and you're like, okay, I need to watch out for these combos. Like you see library get played and you go next game, or even later in that game, you're like, okay, my plan is to be prep next turn, but what if they play a library, put everyone in the library? Then what do I do? You have to like think about like, what if they play this? Because then it changes like maybe what card you take from develop or what card you take from visions. Yeah. So I think those are the kind of changes that have happened to me this set, which I think is why I'm winning. I would credit them all to Tyler. Really, his training and also playing against him and also watching him play. And it was funny because I last week talked about how like, or maybe a week before, how I talked about when Tyler was playing in the finals at PBG in Texas. I was watching him to see if I would do the same play. And one of the people Tyler's been coaching is JJ. And at VPC, JJ said he was doing the same thing to me, where he was watching me play and see if he would have picked the same cards from Visions or done the same thing as I did. And yeah, I feel like that's how you grow and learn. Part of it is like getting the coaching, and I feel like coaches are usually pretty good at pointing out like things that like holes in your basic knowledge a lot of the times. I feel like that's what they're good for, and also like just making you think about other play patterns, like other moves you can do essentially. But then also like just watching, because before I didn't really like watching other people play, especially if I can't see their hand. I don't really like watching them play because I don't feel engaged, and I just check out and I end up like scrolling TikTok. But I feel like when you can see their hand, when you can see their hand, it's like different because you're like, okay, what would I do in this situation? What kind of stuff do I think about? So yeah, I definitely recommend 1, getting coaching, 2, watching other people play, especially if you can see their hand, especially if they're playing the same deck as you, to see how they would deal with like things that are hard for you to deal with. And like I think probably this week we may do like a little team session where Tyler talks about how to play against GP discard because it's hard. Yeah, it's probably our hardest matchup, I would say. So that's my advice. As always, keep shuffling. Hopefully, you don't end up with a whole handful of uninkables like me. And now I feel like I have to add, hopefully, you don't miss turn 2 ramp if you're playing a ramp deck, because it is painful. I think one of the games against River, I didn't get ramp until turn 5. I only inked once per turn until turn 5. I think luckily that game I was on the play, and so I was okay. I didn't lose that game, but that's it for me. All right, bye.